Hey guys, Tanman the Gamer here, and I'm back with another video trying to help the community on the crew try to become a little bit better at the racing game they probably love a lot. Now, a lot of the reasons why people are blown off of this game is because the driving is very weird. You have a lot of understeer, there's a huge dead zone, but if you go into the options and you go to controls, you can actually mess around with that stuff. The vehicle handling help level, take that off all driving help. That's not going to help you at all. It's just going to cause you to overturn and go off into the road. Hardcore, that's up to your own preference, but if it's raining when you're trying to race, you're probably going to end up spinning off. So sport is the best. You don't have any help going through the turns, and you're not going to go spiraling off out and into the desert when you're racing. Now, the gearbox, that's up to your own preference. You can leave that at automatic or manual. I'm not too competitive, so I just leave it at automatic. But what you're going to want to change is the steering sensitivity, the steering linearity, and the steering speed factor, along with the steering dead zone, however you like it. I feel that it's best in the middle, but you can mess around with it. If it's all the way to the left, your vehicle is going to be very twitchy. It'll turn immediately the way you want. It might overturn, which is why I don't use it. And all the way to the right causes, you just don't want to do that. It causes you to go, it causes your controls not to work, is what I'm trying to say. But along with the controls, you're also going to want to have a great driving line. You're going to want to know where you're going. You're not going to want to hit walls, obviously, but you're going to want to know the limits of your vehicle that you're driving. If you ended up going and taking a corner and you ended up hitting the wall, well, maybe next time you take that corner, try and brake a little bit earlier to see if you can make that corner a whole lot smoother so you don't lose as much speed. Another aspect is you're going to want to get the best cars that the game can offer at the time, unless you kind of want some variety. But I'm just going to go through and quickly show you which vehicles are better in each class. Now, the street Nissan Skyline is a very good overall street car. It has good acceleration, it goes around corners smoothly, it sticks to the ground unless you're going through a corner too quickly, and it's all around a great car. Now, the Chevrolet Impala Sport Sedan, it has its uses, and the only uses really are wall riding, because the turn radius and the acceleration of this boat are very bad. Now, it'll wall ride walls easily 100-120 miles an hour. There's not much you have to do. You just grind on the wall and you turn towards the direction of the turn. It's really simple. Moving on to the dirt spec cars, the BMW X6 it's in the middle. It doesn't have anything too good, but it's very well balanced and a very good car. The Rough RT35, it has great acceleration, but the only thing that I have problems with is the car is very, very twitchy. You try to turn in a direction with your analog stick, the car will go that way immediately. It's not gonna have any dead zone, nothing. It'll just want to go. And I don't personally like that too much in the car, which is why I don't use it very much. But when I do use it, I find it to be a very good car if I can drive it. It really depends on what race I'm doing and how many corners there are, because I do not like fighting with this car. It's very difficult to handle if you do not know how to drive it, and it definitely takes some getting used to. Another thing, if you can avoid it at all costs, try not to hit the fences, as they will slow you down a considerable bit. You won't really notice a difference until you're about to win, and then you don't, because you end up hitting a line of fences and you just hate your life. So definitely try to stay out of the way of fences. The dirt vehicle that I prefer using is the Skyline. Big shocker, I use it in street. But the dirt Skyline, I'm used to driving it. I've always driven it. Moving on to the perf spec. The first car that I'm going to show you is the Lotus Exige, and this car is mind-blowing. This thing will stick to the ground no matter what you throw at it. It's nuts how well this car will go around corners, and at speed too. This car doesn't have too good of acceleration, but it makes up for it in having a very strong nitrous and going around corners like it's nothing. There are still limits to this car. You can't go 250 miles an hour around a left-hand turn. However, it still takes the corners like a dream. There is another problem with the car though, is walls hate this car. Walls will eat this vehicle when you hit, like, it doesn't even matter how fast you hit the wall. The wall will try to eat your car. It's stupid, and if you make a mistake, you probably lose the race. The next car on the list is going to be the Pagani Huayra. Now, don't get me wrong, this is an amazing car, but I feel like if you use this car, you're a noob. This vehicle is so easy to use. It has great acceleration, good turn radius, sticks to the ground, and it has pretty decent boost. There's nothing bad about this car, but I find it way too easy to use. Which, I mean, yeah, go ahead and use it if you want to, but it's not like you are going to be challenging yourself. And another thing, it can kind of wall ride. It's not like insane wall ride like the Impala or the Focus that I'm going to show you, but it definitely will still wall ride without losing as much speed as other vehicles. Now, let's just take a minute to appreciate the spawn that this game has given me. I mean, just look at this. What is that? Whatever, I'll take it. It's a spawn. Anyways, the next vehicle that I'm going to show you is the Ford Focus RS in perf spec. Now, you're probably wondering, what's so special about this car? Well, it can wall ride. I expected there to be a wall there. That was my fault. Now, this vehicle, it's not too bad. It has pretty mediocre acceleration compared to the other two cars. And it's not very good at anything else, but it can wall ride like a champ. There are certain, like the Impala, there are certain places that you can use this car effectively, blah blah blah. But really, you can just bounce off the walls and not lose any speed. Like, how stupid is that? It's so much fun to troll people when you're doing races. If you find the right race and you can just wall ride the entire thing, you win every time. It's dumb. Moving on, I'm going to show you the best raid cars. Now, it's kind of a toss-up between the Ford Mustang and the Mini Cooper. But the Ford Mustang, it's kind of like the Dirt Skyline, which I know I didn't really talk about, but it's good, but only if you know how to use it. It doesn't have good acceleration. I mean, it has decent acceleration for its class, but it's not too special. And once you get to a high speed, it usually likes to keep the high speed. It doesn't really bog down too much, and it doesn't really have that great of a top speed unless you're slipstreaming off of somebody. Now, a pretty good raid is going to be either the Ford Focus RS or the Mini Countryman. I just learned about the Mini Countryman not too long ago, and beforehand I'd always used the Focus, so that's what I used. But the Mini Cooper has some potential. It has some great acceleration, and its top speed is not bad, and it'll get there really quickly. The stats have got to be broken or something, because it says its top speed is only around 2,000 when it goes.